Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Dev Talk Show. Hopefully, this time the audio is going to be decent. So, of course, we have today the queen of Rivals Workshop stages, as well as one of the older creators in the workshop community, and one of my best friends. Please welcome ViviVinya.
Wah. Hello.
Hello, Vivi. It's great to have you here with us.
It's an honor. As always, it is an honor to be on any Vizard project.
Same here, I should say, always having you on board. And also, it's kind of funny that for our audience, you're gonna feel like I'm talking to a mirror because it's the same voices for Wizard, you know.
Yeah. We have a very long history of that.
Man, it's like what 5 years, right, since the first Rio showcase.
Oh my god, it has to be.
Yeah, damn, the first Rio showcase, now the last one with the voiceover, insane.
Yeah, the one, the classic one. Well, not quite classic.
Yeah, it was the
The
second one,
intermediately classic one.
the blue one, the blue Rio. So, okay, let's starting off. Please tell us a bit about yourself, Vivi.
Yeah, sure. So, as I like to start off, hey folks, Vivi here. um, I am a Rivals Workshop dev. I've been, I think actually technically started in September,
Mhm.
but I only started making characters in October of 2019.
Damn.
Um, and kind of these days, I don't know if it's a bit presumptuous to say, but I kind of think of myself as the second in command here at Final Frenzy.
Oh, no, it pretty much is. I mean, you handle all the stages, like the looping stuff for all of them, the
Yeah,
thumbnails for all of them.
yeah. It's hard to think of any particular item that I haven't touched or influenced in some minuscule little way.
Yeah, probably. I
At this
imagine
point,
maybe just Ganondorf since he was the first one. But even then,
nope.
you
I did AI
no.
coding for him.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's always that.
I think it might just be the lawyers
For now, for now.
for now. You'll send me back to the AI dungeon.
The good AI dungeon. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, the good one. The and aside from Rivals, I have historically been very involved in the indie art scene of Com Project and FanPro on Tumblr. And just kind of a generalist and aspiring game dev
Mhm.
is how I'd put it. Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
just
perfect.
digital artist. That's about my portfolio.
Hmm. Oh, that's a great portfolio. We're gonna go more in depth about some other stuff. So also, real quick,
Yeah.
Vivi, I'm gonna leave real quick just to grab some gloves because it's very cold here.
Oh goodness.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Take care of yourself. Everybody who's listening, the next Final Frenzy character. I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil the next Final Frenzy character. It's oh god, what was that? The pencil guy. Wild Woody, yeah. The next frenzy character is Wild Woody. Everybody. This is the only way I could leak it out in time.
What happened?
Oh no, nothing. I wasn't leaking any Final Frenzy.
Imagine that any of the I don't know 30 characters we have on development, nobody's gonna believe
Yeah, I
you.
could. I could just say something, and eventually it might be right anyways.
Yeah. Oh, the next character is someone from the obscure game on PS2. No, the obscure survivor game.
Mm.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, so on the topic of your early days workshop, you say you first released the
Mm.
character on the way 2019, and that was Shy Guy, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy stuff all the way back then. It was one of the best characters I would say from that point, on that time,
Oh,
like in terms of art and the attacks and all of that. So
that's
how
real
did that
sweet.
whole process came to be, right? Making your first Workshop mod and also learning about Rivals of Aether Workshop.
Yeah. So, as you can probably guess, I was in on Rivals pretty dang early. I'll give you a little brief history of it. I found out about Rivals through Super Smash Land.
Hmm.
That's the previous game project that Dan Fornace worked on, and led. And Super Smash Land is a Smash fan game that's like a sort of demake of Super Smash Brothers. And I just, for basically as long as I can remember being into Smash, I've been into Smash fan games. So that's a long, long history to its own. Um, but found Rivals through that. I was like, oh my god, uh, original Smash Bros. This is crazy.
Hmm.
um, so I've always been following development of it. And I was there like for the announcement of Workshop, like
Oh,
the day that it was announced.
nice.
And to be honest, I actually like didn't really think much of it at the time. I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, that's cute." I'm not like super into Rivals. I think it's a fun game. I like playing it on my dinky computer that can barely run it.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was about like it was roughly a month after it released, I believe,
Hmm.
that I was looking at mods that were coming out for it, and like everybody remembers like Ronald,
Yeah.
but that wasn't particularly what I was super interested in, to be quite honest. Ronald is very good. Ronald is a very good and clever port of a Mugen character, but
Yeah.
like I'm more interested in the more like solidified design space, and that came in the form of like Malo.
Hmm.
Um, there was a Madatsuki that existed before, I believe, Huponias and Spider Boys
Yeah. I
Madatsuki.
think I know about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it had a really interesting like nair or something that pushed you
Hmm.
along the ground because it was like her bike. We'll get to that later. Wick, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Wick
Yeah.
was another one that very very much inspired me. Paddler, that's a classic T
Hmm.
Dude character, and Acid Rainbows, especially Acid
Oh,
Rainbows.
yeah.
Uh, and like all these characters in particular showed me like, oh, you can just make some really weird, interesting stuff in a platform fighter space that Smash has not been doing.
Hmm.
Uh, and I saw those. I was like, I gotta get in on this. um, I wanted my first character to be very different from everything that would be that was coming out at the time.
Hmm.
Like, you know, everyone's got those like kind of basic brawlers with a projectile, and those are like totally fine characters. Final Frenzy has a few. Hi, Funky Kong. Um, but you know, there you put a canvas such as Rivals of Aether in front of me, and I'm like, I want to make something really strange, really experimental, and still allowing myself to have some kind of cohesion with
Hmm.
it. And also, I believe at the time, Piranha Plant in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate had like released somewhat recently.
Oh, yeah, I think so, because 2019, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, 2019. Uh, Needless to say, huge fan of Piranha Plant. That was one
Hmm.
of my favorite reveals in all of Ultimate.
I wish you had more characters like that in Smash, I'll be honest.
Yeah, for real, for real. I feel like Sakurai's design philosophies are his best when he is making some just crazy weird thing that clearly he had like a fever dream about.
Yeah, for sure.
um and that ultimately was like, well, okay, that's really cool to see a like generic enemy in Smash. And ever since I was little, like
Hmm.
little, like the first game I had ever beaten on my own without like help from like a family member
Hmm.
was Yoshi's Island. specifically the GBA version. And I was in love with the Shy Guys, and that kind of persisted throughout my life. And I was like, okay, so here's a very popular character that has a lot of tools and appearances and references, should be relatively easy to sprite. Why don't I just go for it? Um, so, well, and also, at the time, I specifically wanted to make a version of Shy Guy that could, like, in a, like a sort of pseudo chronology, could have appeared in Melee in terms of like the references I pull. That's why everything was Paper Mario, Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Story. I got back in the day, I got a request to put in the Shy Guy Says flags, and I was like, okay, sure, that's a Nintendo 64 reference, and like all of that. If Shy Guy had been in Melee for some reason, that could have been in his moveset, I guess. So I had made Shy Guy within the span of like roughly 2 weeks.
Oh damn, that's
in the middle of college.
kind of crazy actually for the first character.
Yeah, for my first character. And you talked big about Shy Guy early on. I think that he was like, at the time, he was definitely a very high quality character compared
He
to
really
like
was. Yeah, he was.
a lot of like the Sandbert clones that were flooding the workshop. But I think nowadays, if you ever do end up looking back on that classic Shy Guy, it's really apparent that he has design flaws and like weird animation quirks that make it very clear he was made within 2 weeks.
Your first GM character, look at that.
It may as well have been. Yeah. But I mean, that also wasn't necessarily uncommon back in the day. I mean, you had a lot of people making effectively week 1 fighters in Rivals, and also I had read before that Raster was made in 2 weeks.
No, that's crazy.
Oh,
Didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. And Raster also similarly, I do seem to recall, had a lot of very substantial patches after that. So, hey, that's that's something we have in common. So Shy Guy himself, I love the guy. You know, he's starting to get up in age. It's going to be coming up to his, I believe, 6th anniversary of being released.
Yeah, because I think he released on October, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it was like October 26th. Please fact check me on that.
I think it is. I think it's gonna be on screen probably. We'll see if I do that.
Yeah, but like coming up on 6 years of the character being all the way, or like something like that. So I've been slowly but surely putting out little bits of a definitive edition patch for him that that makes him align a bit more with more modern Rivals Workshop sensibilities and design philosophies. And I think it's coming out really fun.
No, it really is. I really love the new colors you have on the new sprites, like the red. It pops out so much.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's that's very fun. I had learned sort of color shading theory from a good friend of mine, Dalblau. I'll shout Dalblau. Her name is Dutch. It's a sort of made up Dutch word, and she's an excellent friend of mine. Incredible artist, taught me a lot about making art. As I became better as a sprite artist, I followed a lot of like her advice, and the shading is just so much better now because I know what I'm doing, like on a fundamental artistic level.
But also, he has a sword in there, sword fair, I should say, which is now. Usually, before that, we're like, oh no, we can't give characters G joint. They're not gonna like that. Nowadays, screw it, you know. Just make them fun. They're not competitive or anything like that, so who cares, right?
Yeah, not inherently. No. I will argue that there very much was a sort of balancing concept with giving him that new forward air sword. And it's because and this is sort of to highlight the design, the way that design has evolved from us as creators, just kind of generally. Shy Guy had some pretty bad blind spots in the early days, and that's kind of something you don't want to have unless you're really deliberately like going for some really weird design. Shy Guy isn't inherently that weird of a character. He's not a gimmick character. He's a gimmicky weird little freak, but
Yeah.
he's not like
Yeah, you
I don't
can
even
play
know.
him.
He's not like Balcony.
If you know how to play rivals, you can play him, no problem. You don't need to check the
Yeah,
guide or anything.
exactly. He's a very beginner friendly character that has weird little quirks. And so I've been pushing his design forward with that in mind.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it still works. He still has those weird quirks, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So,
His down special especially is a big favorite of mine, the stilts.
oh yeah, no, that's one of my favorites as well. I remember, like even from the first release, right? He had that. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
That kind of
He had that and it was terrible. It was just an absolutely abysmal move. You can go back onto like my channel when I was doing like weekly updates of Shy Guy's moveset, and you can see how slowly he moved on the stilts and how they did like nothing. It like originally it was intended to be a like weird dodging move,
had to
like
shift your
almost
hitbox,
like a
right?
counter.
I remember that.
Yeah, it fully shifts the hitbox, but like it doesn't go up high enough for that to matter against most of the cast. And like yeah, weird. It was so weird. Nowadays, I still love the concept of it, but I wanted to increase the utility of it, so I turned it into a wall that you can like edge guard with.
Yeah, and
And then gave him flash kick with it in the air.
it's very fun. Projects you released on workshop, like for those unfamiliar with your work, you also create a good number of characters, stages, a lot of buddies as well, which is very uncommon on nowadays in workshop. From original fan pro mods to even some are a lot of unknown games, I should say, right? Could you go to more
Yeah.
detail about some of your favorite character mods you've made in workshop?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So I mean, of course, we started with Shy Guy, and then character number 2, and I remember that this was a pretty big trend for Rivals devs at the time, that they make their first character that's just kind of like testing out how the game works, and then their second character is just something completely insane.
Yeah.
And that for me was Lovely Sweet Dream, and that is a character based on LSD Dream Emulator, the weird little PlayStation 1 like art game. Kind of a cult classic. If you've seen like screenshots of this spooky, weird, creepy game from the PlayStation, you've probably seen it before. The main thing that I wanted to do with Lovely Sweet Dream was to make an adaptive fighter, sort of like Shulk, where you can't control how you adapt necessarily, at least not in an easy way or an easy to understand way, because that's very much what happens in the game itself. Translating those concepts to a platform fighter is extremely fun. And that's sort of, from that point onward, that guided how I wanted to make characters, especially from content that has some core feature to it that like just gripped me. As I would go on for my next character, Venom SST. Venom SST is a car.
I love him. I love him so much.
Good. He's
Actually, both of
it's
them.
a precious little.
Venom and
creature.
LSD. I don't know which one is my favorite from your characters. It's one of the two.
Those are very good picks. And the reason why, okay, Venom SST, for clarification, this is a car from an arcade game racer called Cruisin', or a racer series
Cruising
called
to
Cruisin'.
USA.
Cruisin', yeah. It's
So
awesome.
good.
It's so awesome.
It's so good.
Cruisin' is effectively like passionate parody of the arcade racers of the time. The way that they did that is that they just made the physics of the game completely insane and
Yeah.
filled it with like you can run over cows and dinosaurs and you can be sent to Mars. Um,
It's great.
it's
So good.
crazy. It's so fun. I wanted to represent how fun it is. Like the thing that popped into my head and the most satisfying thing ever in that game is when you double tap the gas and you pop a wheelie and then you just bounce over a car. You just go,
It's
you
so
fling
cool.
yourself. It's so cool. It's so fun. I just couldn't stop thinking about how fun that would be in a platform fighter in like Smash Bros. Like what, especially because Cruisin' itself is like a sort of joint project between, or was a joint project between Midway and Nintendo. I was like, what if Cruisin' got represented in Smash? What would they do? And that was sort of the going forward with that. And that was a test of me making a really fast character, like fully just momentum based, just almost slop, just fast slop. That's what
Movement
I like to
slop in
call
a
it.
Rivals game? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Or just to bring that feeling of reckless driving, but if you're too reckless, you die and and crash, and it's horrible. But it's so fun when you do, anyways.
Oh man,
That
that
was like
happened so much. I think it was the earlier patches. Like you could just use the cruising blast off stage so easily.
yeah, yeah. It was that was a very not necessarily well designed move when I started off, and that's why that's one of the bigger reasons why Venom SST ended up being my first definitive edition character, even though to me that's more of like actually finishing the character, as it was at the time. This is something you'll see developers get kind of better at, is the core mechanical game feel of what players should be rewarded for or get away with.
Yeah.
And like, as you said, originally Venom SST's forward special just sent it straight off of the stage and would kill you for using it. And that's like, you're using meter for that. Like, what? Come on.
Yeah.
So now it does a sort of Shovel Knight-esque. It bounces you off the edge of the blast zone instead of killing you.
And that's such a cool effect as well. Yeah.
Yeah, God, and it feels right at home with Cruisin' as well. I can think of just the thousands of times you end up crashing into something and you're just bouncing all across the walls in that game. So it's like, it's reflective of that. And Cruisin' as a series also lets me get away with being kind of goofy with it. Like, usually, if you were to make a car fighter out of, like, I don't even know, Forza, you do something very, very different.
Yeah, no, I don't
and I
think
don't exactly
it's
know what.
really possible, I'll be honest. Like without feeling
I
goofy,
would
like you
argue.
said.
I would argue that you definitely could do it. There are people out there, it could be you listening right now, that can make Forza car the fighter and have it be exceptionally cool. And if you are that person, I believe in you. Please, please make it.
Actually, if you are the person and you prefer Gran Turismo, just call me. Have a spot on the frenzy for you.
Yeah, exactly. So being from Cruisin', Venom SST let me get away with a bunch of really stupid things, like just summoning cars, of summoning other cars, and summoning the starting flag girl, summoning cows. And you normally don't want to do that for a fighter. That's kind of a,
Yeah.
unless your fighter is themed on that, you don't typically want to summon things because it
I
like
mean,
obscures
but it's a
what.
car, right? What else can a car do? You know? So
Yeah,
in that case, it
exactly.
makes sense. It's a wacky character as well.
Yeah,
I'm
and like even
just,
then,
I'm just
if
thankful
if I
his
could,
down strong doesn't summon two trucks on either side. You know, it's just one truck.
just one truck. And actually, that reminded me in the original version of Venom SST, it summoned a the Beefcake Boy, as he was called,
Oh
from
yeah,
the finish line of Cruisin' USA
for the jab,
as the
right? I think
jab.
yeah.
Yeah, and so many people were so confused. They thought that was the driver, and I was like, okay, I see how you can get that. Um, no, that's not the driver. Little known fact, the driver is like you, quote unquote. But
Mhm.
if you were to ask me on the spot who the driver is in Venom SST, it is the fancy schmuck from the promo video for Cruisin' World, who has like, oh yes, Italy, France, Spain. Oh, I've been there. Oh, such the beautiful flowers. It's that guy. Very niche reference. But if you go into like the boss fights for like Dracula or something for the Dracula stage, the reason why Venom SST talks like that is because it's referencing
Okay.
that. Oh yeah, after that, I had made Miss Maribel.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's also one of the
yeah,
big ones, I would say, from your cast, I should say.
yeah. She is like surprisingly popular. Like I didn't expect how like beloved of a character Miss Maribel was going to be
Hmm.
because like that is straight up, well, not necessarily straight up in OC, but like to anyone that isn't me and like five other people, that's just an OC.
Hmm.
That's based on the LCD aesthetics, Mr. Game and Watch style character
Yeah.
who's a mermaid and attacks with a bunch of fishy things. She's a character design that I made. I forgot when, probably around like 2017. This thing called Com Project, and that's a part of like a wider art community thing. That was my first OC fighter,
Hmm.
and I had a lot of fun just kind of coming up with mechanics and moves for something that didn't exist at the time. like not from a game or anything.
Hmm.
Um and I haven't done that since. Like not to any like serious degree. I think I might have started and concepted a few projects, but never like done another OC after that. For me, that's because I find it kind of difficult
Hmm.
to bring something to a platform fighter environment that isn't like a reinterpretation of something else.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, most of OCs and workshop, like not to downplay them, but they're usually based on something else, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah, you can go to the Rivals Basecast, and all but like maybe two characters are very heavily based
Yeah.
on existing archetypical tropes of fighting game genres, especially Smash. And it's a really good practice to do. It makes a lot of sense. You want to have some kind of baseline for what you're doing, and I mean that was also partially what Miss Maribel was about, was having that baseline knowing from Mr. Game and Watch, and then twisting it into something very different. Um, like a natural extension of that being like, oh, what if Mr. Game and Watch had the juggle ball as a uh, as a thing he could punt around in his attacks, and that's like basically what Miss Maribel's shell neutral special was about.
And the whole way, like you mentioned, the way the shell is animated, like let's say in game, very, very
Yeah,
reminiscent of that as well. The way the LSD screen light up.
yeah, exactly. I Because I don't think anybody had ever done that before. Was make um a Game and Watch style character that actually has specific kinds of movement that are
Mhm.
actually like the source material of that. And I mean, for like a playable fighter, that's understandable. You'd have to
Mhm.
go with some completely nuts gimmick to make like actually accurate Mr. Game and Watch.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'd be particularly fun to play, but it'd be certainly like interesting. But when it comes to like something that's like a gimmick that isn't like you, it turned out really fun. And I remember some like experienced Rivals coders at the time were like, what the heck? How that's really cool. How did you do that? And
Yeah.
I was just like, I just made some calculations and made its speed go once every like second or whatever. It was like shockingly simple.
Yeah, that's really good as well. I think I actually took a look at that code because I wanted to make hittable projectiles, hittable articles from one of my characters.
Yeah.
So, oh, how did Vivi manage to do that for Miss Maribel? I remember checking that out, the code itself.
The answer in hindsight is kind of poorly. It's a funny story. I for some reason for the longest time like refused to reference code from other workshop developers in like more
Mhm.
than like very light peeking at what they do. So like I believe Supersonic had made some hittable object code at the time. Someone did.
Mhm.
Um, and what I did instead was I just went completely like out of my mind trying to figure out every single variable that was relevant to like hurt boxes and then
Mhm.
applied those to articles. And when I had done so, I was testing it out on like base cast characters and workshop characters. I had tried hitting something with Eliana's up air. Nope, up tilt. The like big claw grab. And it crashed the game. And I was like, shit! Shit, what do you mean? What do you mean that crashes the game? So I had to make a very specific exception. And if you look into the code of some of my workshop items that haven't been like updated recently, you can still find the line that specifically excludes exclusively Eliana up tilt
Oh damn.
from being like hittable in a normal way. Here nowadays, I'm not so afraid of using community resources. Highly suggest using community resources.
Yeah.
Of course, like look through what the code is saying, and like experiment with it, take it apart, um, because you do want to learn what this stuff does to like grow as a coder, as a developer.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
but like don't be afraid of using them. Don't be like me and end up having to fix like dozens of mistakes from dozens of items like 5 years later. After Miss Maribel, we did our collab, Bullet Bill. Um,
Oh yeah, our
I
precious boy.
that was for the our precious boy on the Unorthodox Jam. That was really fun. That effectively, I like to think of that as effectively being the first gear that started Final Frenzy.
Yeah, pretty much was. Yeah, because and I also think that from my characters, I think he's the first good character I've made because Ryu, ah, the other Ryus they're not that good. Buffy, she's super jank, but Bullet Bill he
Yeah.
feels great to play even today.
I mean, you grew a lot as a designer
Yeah, no,
during
that's
that
yeah.
time.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I actually picked with Magical Wizard, but you know,
Yeah, nothing compares to Magical Wizard.
never will.
Never, never.
But yeah,
Um,
Bullet Bill was super fun. Was super fun. GM character, right? Like I mentioned.
yeah, that was super fun. That was my first jam as well. Crazy. I believe I took a pretty in-depth hiatus, then came back with Castle Guide. That's a character from a tech demo game. Welcome to GameCube World. Pretty basic character, all things considered, but has some like really fun quirks. Then I got into Final Frenzy.
Yeah.
And that's when I did mostly directorial work for Pyramid Head, and then assisted Batiste with Dracula. Another Jan character, yeah, geez, that was made within like 2 months. That was,
We had a bit more
and I had to
time.
make a whole stage for that. That was crazy. In the middle of a Florida, like, hurricane.
Yeah, no, it was insane.
It was insane. They had to extend the deadline because I was in the middle of a hurricane. It was nuts. Earlier this year, I released Trixie from My Little Pony with my now excellent, wonderful friend Trinke. That was also for a jam, cartoon jam. And then latest is Smokey Prog. And I'll definitely be talking a bit more about Smokey Prog later.
All great characters. Yeah, they're so cool.
Thank you.
Oh, so different as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing something completely different with each fighter that I do.
No, for
It's
sure.
just fun.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that you have a lot of some difficulty making OCs because you can't really reference anything. But for example, Castle Guide is just an arrow, right? You reference so much with it. You manage to do so much with it.
I pulled just about every reference I could into that character, and then pulled from another game.
The Peach, the Dolphin, I love those.
I had realized, oh, wait, Mario 128 is something that I could very easily reference that wouldn't feel out of place among a GameCube tech demo character. And
Yeah.
then did that with Neutral Special and Up Special. You just, you never know what sort of inspiration will hit you.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So, aside from characters, you also made a lot of stages and buddies, like I mentioned. What are some of your favorite of those?
Yeah, sure. So, I said earlier I started off with buddies, and I made 4 buddies off of that FanPro Com project thing. They're all pretty basic. I just used those to like get started into like animation, really. I've always preferred. I mean, not necessarily like preferred, but for my own making, I've always preferred the very classic, just aesthetic little guy that follows you around type buddy. But whenever I did those, I tried to make them a little bit more in depth than what like you're normally supposed to do with them. Like with Sardine Extreme, you can, if you're playing as Venom SST, you can honk horns at the same time and just hold it down constantly. I think prior to this year, the biggest buddy that I ever made was actually really unique because it was, I believe, the only Final Frenzy buddy, being James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, true.
The reason why he is there in the first place is for the story reason of Pyramid Head doesn't exist without James. Because that's like his monster, so to say. Play Silent Hill 2. It's a good game.
Please do. Even the remake. The remake is also great.
Decided it would feel really weird to have Pyramid Head without James, so hey, just tack him on as a buddy, make a few animations for him, and Pyramid Head gets a special taunt from interacting with James in
So
that
good.
James shoots him while he's taunting, and that was really fun to program to fit an interaction like that into a character thing, and I think that makes it feel a lot more special than your average buddy.
Just a guy that follows you. Actually,
Yeah.
I remember one of the first buddies you released that was kind of like, oh damn, you can do that, was Phantom from Super Mario Brothers 2,
Yeah.
right? The way he follows you around.
Yeah. Phanto. Okay, that's funny. Last I remember, it's been a hot minute since I checked out Phanto's code. Phanto uses a fake horizontal and vertical speed that is just completely manufactured, does not correlate to the buddy's normal HSP or VSP.
Hmm.
And that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh, that's the kind of movement you can make when you know what you're doing, and can sort of emulate things without having to rely on the occasionally kind of janky way that Rivals can handle movement. And remnants of that actually still exist in my newest buddy, Vivid Breeze.
Oh,
Which,
interesting.
hi, that's me right there.
Oh, look at her.
That Vivid Breeze is my most complex buddy, easily. She has over 100 voice lines
Oh, damn, that's.
that are. I believe it's over 140 at this point. Well, maybe not. Hard to remember.
I mean, it's gonna be around that in the future, right?
It's gonna be around that. Compatibility with dozens of characters. All of mine, all of the Final Frenzy characters, and like several of my friends. There's more coming. The main takeaway is, if you like listening to my voice this much that you're here this far into the thing, please check out the Vivid Breeze buddy. I think she's really cute, and I worked hard on her, and continue to work hard on her, and she might come with some surprises later on. Ooh,
Ooh.
just
Ooh.
saying. And that's all my buddies up till now, all the like notable ones, anyways.
Mhm.
And you had mentioned stages earlier, and this is kind of the real meat and potatoes, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually started working on stages before stage scripting was a thing.
Hmm.
And that started with Subcon, which was Shy Guy's home stage. And I just wanted to, at the time, just make a basic asymmetrical two platform layout, with the intent of, okay, I'm gonna do something cool with this later. And then I did. Hittable grass that mimics plucking from Super Mario Bros. 2 in a sort of vague sense, and combines it with like the random item gameplay of Smash. Because I felt like that was a thing that was missing in Rivals 1, was the sort of hectic nature of items gameplay. And this sort of like emulates it to a minuscule degree. And that sort of philosophy of, this doesn't exist in this design space yet as like a main gameplay thing, why don't I expand on that, is kind of what drives every single one of my stages, for the most part. Like with the Nintendo GameCube, that one, you actually can slightly control your opponents by hitting a giant GameCube controller.
Uh, uh, let's just say that's one insane gimmick. Let's say, like, mechanic on such a older stage. Let's say it's so ahead of the time in many ways. The mechanic.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, I don't think anyone had like done that before. I mean, there's probably like some like games, like some kind of Mario Party stuff that exist, but like never in a platform fighter environment. And I thought that would be so freaking funny that I just had to figure it out. And don't look in the code of it; it's a mess.
I imagine.
But yeah, I remember. I think that ended up being my most popular stage.
I mean, it
Because
has
not
five
only was it
stars. I'm just checking right here.
had that insane gimmick, it also was one of the first stages that actually had moving platforms.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. They were a pain to do.
Yeah, that like alternated between different layouts. And I remember back in the day being asked if the stage could be on like a workshop competitive thing. And I was like, oh, dang. People like my stages. The one that I made after that, of all my classic stages, I think this one's a little bit underrated because of the weird way that I released it. Was Trophy Collector, based on the mini game from Super Smash Bros. Melee. And it's a full-on game mode that also functions as a normal stage if you want it to be. Gosh, I had a lot of fun turning that, like reinterpreting that game mode into a like actual competitive thing.
And it's so cool, so unique as well for to have in workshop.
Thank you.
Although one thing about the stage on Steam, Vivi, you still have my
Mhm.
very old DK sprite rip on the thumbnail. It's
Yeah,
still there.
yeah. I remember I asked you permission for that. That's not even your sprite.
Oh yeah, true. I guess it was
Oh
my
yeah.
voice, right? If you wanna be technical about it, the okay.
Gosh. Yeah. Eventually that'll get updated with a nice proper thumbnail. But
A shame that Funky Kong is not on Melee, right? You recreate this.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he has a trophy. It's Dixie Kong that has a trophy in Melee,
Oh yeah, yeah, true.
not
Yeah.
Funky.
Damn, they should
Yeah.
have had
But
Funky there.
they should have added Funky. Maybe I should add Funky there just for fun.
Use the baby mode sprites for the frenzy characters as trophies, you know? What if trophy?
Yeah. Oh, that's really funny. The so baby mode, as you just mentioned, that's a term that I don't think anybody outside of like us uses because I coined it because it's funny. Um, when we say baby mode, we're referring to the fighter icons that you see on the workshop select screen. Um, and I call them baby modes for pretty obvious reasons.
They're so cute.
They're just so cute. They're just so cute. I love making them. They're like my favorite thing. I did Gurgoths. It was fun. And I really ended up enjoying those because of making all those tiny, tiny trophy cameos for that stage and for the buddy.
And it's crazy how recognizable they are, even at that super low resolution. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun puzzle. And I just love that fun little puzzle of making pixel art sometimes. It's a delight,
For sure.
really.
Yeah.
After Trophy Collector was the Dream Emulator of LSD fame, a full-on transforming stage with 6 unique layouts. This stage took me like a year of development straight.
I remember. You released each stage separately at first, right?
Yeah, I did, and they're all still up there actually. I updated them within the past couple years to include more songs actually.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
And believe it or not, that was actually not the first transforming stage. I was beaten up by like one other person, I think.
Really? Which one?
Well, if you want me to gush about it now, I was beaten out by ZT Styles in Television World. And that's probably a creator not a lot of people know about or remember. But to me, ZT Style is like one of like the foundations to me as a creator. And like I never knew them. I don't even think they were in like any discords or anything. They just made stuff. And it was like nearly all of it was sprite rip.
Yeah.
But it was like the most insane coding exploits I've ever seen in workshop at that point. They made the first stage with a slope on it.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, it was a Jazz Jackrabbit, I think, stage that has a slope going up the side of it. I was like, whoa, what? They made the Commodore 64 Snoopy bootleg game as a stage in Rivals that you can just play the entirety of a bootleg Snoopy game.
That's
Like, what are you...
that's insane. That's the power of workshop, to be honest.
It is. And they had also made a transforming stage that goes between like I don't remember the exact number. It's probably around like 8 different Intellivision console games, and every single transformation with its own unique gimmick,
Damn.
like Flat Zone 2 type stuff. And the stage like it's crazy. It's so crazy. And at the time I was like, "Oh my god, I have been blown out of the water." Because like I thought I was being so freaking cool with Dream Emulator and how it's like, oh, it's gonna be the first transforming stage on Rivals that fully transforms. No. And this person just one ups me entirely with like actual gimmicks for each form. And I it's so cool. Please, 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 please check out ZT Styles mods. They're like somewhat older at this point, but they're like so interesting and like a huge inspiration for me as a creator. And like I have no idea where they went. And straight up, ZT, if you are out there and you're listening to this, please come back to Workshop. Please, please, I'm begging
We
you.
have to play some
I
Frenzy
need
for
to see
you.
what you do.
We need more stage artists. on
Yeah,
Frenzy.
yeah, come on to Frenzy. Come on to Frenzy. Replace Vizard.
Oh no, don't do that.
God, such a cool creator. Right. And after that, I made a couple original stages, Bucket Beach and Future in Sight. Really the most notable thing about those is that they're original stages. I didn't really get too crazy with them. Again, because of that kind of lack of source material to work off of. Then after that was my first collab stage, and that was with you. It was Airship
Yeah.
Fortress.
That's a great stage as
Yeah.
well, which I coded, so it's not that great.
I think it turned out great for your stage coding experience at the time.
No, it's insane. I coded everything like I don't know 2 days because we had to submit the stage for one of the blueprints stuff.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, have you coded the stage?" User like, "No, wait, I'll do that. And then I had to just do everything, and it's so janky.
I imagine you had to like reverse engineer a like character controller for the Bonsai Bill mechanic.
No, pretty much because of the way that you can't just turn on a dime. You have to turn on little
No.
intervals. So yeah, crazy stuff. And the way the whole platform breaks. The platform breaking is actually kind of good,
Yeah.
but the effect of
Mhm.
the bricks collapsing, it's awful.
It's very still.
And they just go in a
God.
straight line and fall down.
Yeah. I think nowadays either of us have a bit more experience to make something a bit more natural. I'd love to come back to that stage sometime. Polish it up a little bit.
It's a very good looking stage. Like the music, I also love the music selection. It has the final stock music, right? Which is now
Yeah.
a stable for our stages.
Yeah, they became a big theme among a lot of our content actually. Yeah, it was cool. It was good getting to work with you on that again.
Oh,
After that I made Toluca Lake, and that's sort of what semi-officially started Final Frenzy
yeah, in a way, yeah.
in like a vague sense, because that was the first stage that was made for Final Frenzy specifically, but kind of retroactively.
Yeah, because we made that for Pyramid Head. We were thinking about him at the time already.
Yeah, we made that for Pyramid Head and teased that we were working on a Silent Hill character, but didn't say who.
And like nobody cared, which was a shame.
Yeah, nobody cared until we put on the pyramid mask.
Very true.
And then I made a couple Smash ports. I made Mushroom Kingdom 64 and Flat Zone from Melee. And honestly, those are just a couple of my favorite stages from the Smash series that like very thoroughly inspire me. It's just a fun couple projects, a couple of easy-ish projects to work on that also like the main like original thing with them is, well, I mean the aesthetics for one, but secondly to do the basic layouts and to have like the weird crazy platform layouts of Flat Zone be in a competitive setting.
Yeah,
Competitive-ish setting. It's fun. It's fun to reinterpret stuff like that.
for sure. On the topic of aesthetics, I really love how Mushroom Kingdom looks. Like the Koopa sprite is one of my favorites. It's so perfect. The Koopa Troopa
Thank
one.
you. I had so much fun. doing that because I wanted it to stick to the classic Mario aesthetic rather than like New Super Mario Bros. Or something that you would
Hmm.
otherwise modernize a Mario stage to. I wanted it to be like if Lost Levels was remade in like the same way that I guess they remade like Link's Awakening on the Switch.
Damn, now I
You know, the
want
kind
that.
of thing.
They should do
Yeah, for
that. They should
real.
do that.
Yeah, for real, for real. Then I did Redwood Forest. Um, that was maybe the most in-depth background I had ever done for a stage,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
with all like the trees and everything.
the perspective as well.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think it's one of my best looking stages because of that.
Mhm, for
Yeah,
sure.
and the gimmick is pretty fun. It takes after the checkpoint system in arcade racers, and if you run out of time, a tree comes down and kills you.
I sadly, as much as cruising is crazy, that doesn't happen in cruising, guys. I'm sorry.
It doesn't happen in cruising. No,
there's no giant love that
it's
falls on you.
it's a sort of conglomeration of different ideas within the cruising series,
Mhm.
but you won't get killed by a log.
A shame. Maybe in the next game.
A shame. After that was Huge Texture Dome. That one was also like with Castle Guide, was sort of in a sort of development hell, and I just kind of had the assets for it laying around because I made them for the trailer, and I was like, I can just make a new stage out of this, and then I did.
Mhm. Nice.
So, more of the story, hold on to your old assets because
Yeah.
you'll never know when you want to make something out of them.
And finally, cruising music on workshop. We needed that for so long.
Oh yeah, true, true. Yeah. Um, Pro tip: if you want to be inspired to make a stage, do it based on music that you like a lot.
I mean, that's the whole reason I made stages workshop in the first place. My super sprite rip ones. Every single Castlevania game, baby.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. And I got like all of those, and then got sick from the rotating room stage.
That's my best stage.
And I was like, Vizard, this is awful. How did you do this before stage scripting?
Yeah. Actually, damn, that I actually I don't think I ever told you that how I did that.
No, you should say. You should say.
I emulated the Super Castlevania 4 using BSNES, right? Which is a different emulator that
Mhm.
allows you to output Mode 7 stuff in HD and widescreen. So I
Yeah.
did that and I removed all the sprite layers. So you'll notice that the stage
Mm.
is actually in HD because of that. Like the background is high quality.
Oh.
So it's not even accurate to
That's
the
crazy.
original game or to the original Super Nintendo version. See, it's not a sprite trip, guys. It's even better.
It's like a texture rip
Yeah,
at that point.
pretty much. A 3D model rip.
And then after that stage, that's when I started like really going in on assisting on Final Frenzy project with a lot of collabs with other workshop developers. That was I did I did coding on Firelink Shrine and
Mhm.
cameos on that one.
Yeah.
I did Raccoon City's zombie gimmick, the barrels on Homecoming hijinks, getting extraction points.
It's the stratagem input.
Yeah, the stratagems. Yeah, getting those onto the stage, like porting them from the fighter. Um, Doing the floating garden mechanics with the stage
Oh, that
scrolling.
one's so good.
Uh,
And it's like we weren't even planning on that, right? Like, oh, why don't we do that for the gimmick? And then here we
I,
are.
I had always, whenever I was thinking of, well, what would I do for Castlevania stages? I always imagined a sort of scrolling stage for floating gardens,
Mhm.
actually. And that's where that idea came from. And it just came out so freaking cool
Yeah.
because of Rice's sprite work and all the cameos that the team had put together. It came out so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's one of all of these Frenzy stages are incredible. So it's hard to pick one. But yeah, they're so good.
Yeah. And then most recently, updating your Graveyard of Swords stage with more modern coding.
Yeah. Just as
And
likely.
most recently, Bloodsoaked Tokyo,
Yeah.
where I had coded like the dragon like the entire dragon gimmick,
And it's so fun as well.
which was nuts. We were just like bouncing around ideas, and I did my best to include like all of them.
No, for sure. Yeah. It turned out so well. Like the body on the background, damn, it's so cool.
Ghost of a pops off with stage
It
aesthetics.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
I every time that I collaborate with him on a stage, it's like the best thing ever.
For sure.
He's so good to collaborate with.
He is actually, if we think about one of the main reasons Frenzy is also happening, because he's responsible for most of the stages. Like in terms of,
Right, yeah.
I'm able to commission him for those. Can't wait for the next stage. Next Frenzy one. We don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
No, for sure. We actually don't
Um
know. We have so many ideas.
Yeah, so many. And I had a few that I mostly did on my own as well for Frenzy. Being and you might find a common theme among them, actually. Being Great Bridge from Bloodborne.
Mhm.
That was very spur of the moment.
Oh no, that really was. That's also
Yeah.
another big part of Frenzy, because this Bloodborne was not meant to be a Frenzy project at all.
No.
Zero's gonna just make the Hunter's gonna help him, and then all of a sudden, oh, let's make a stage. Oh, let's make a new artwork, and then bam.
Yeah, because I had fallen in love with Nightmare Cart. And I was like, oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever.
It
What
is.
on earth is the actual Bloodborne like? And then I played Bloodborne PSX from the same developer. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So, if you ever wondered why the aesthetics of my stage are like that compared to the normal Bloodborne visuals, it's because I was very heavily inspired by Bunlith's Bloodborne PSX.
Yeah. And it works so well for a workshop as well. Like the design
Yeah.
is it's so perfect again, and the gimmick with the cleric beast as well.
That was if I can go on another stage nerd tangent here, the cleric beast gimmick was very heavily inspired by a Smash Waffle stage, actually.
Really,
Cannonball Cannonade from Pac-Man World, where when you walk around on the floor of the stage, a like scarecrow pops up, and then like a second later, a cannonball comes through and bursts into the scarecrow, and if anybody is in front of it at the time, they'll get hit away. I was like, that is such a cool way of making a like hazard gimmick, like a more conventional Smash type hazard gimmick, while also letting it be interactive. And so the cleric beast gimmick and how it reacts to you being in the center of the stage, and how you have time to like set up into like you can turn it around into smacking your opponent into the center of the stage. That was very much inspired by that.
that's crazy. I didn't know that. Man, damn, I feel like a fake fan right now, because I didn't know that stage had a Aether mode.
Yeah, it's so cool to play. Like I'm gonna definitely talk about this later. Play that stage; it's awesome.
I'm sorry, Smallfold, that I didn't know about it. I'll rectify that.
And then the next three stages I mostly worked on my own, with the exception of predominantly on my own, were Dracula's Keep to come out with Dracula, which has that fun power-up gimmick of collecting Dracula's relics.
Damn, it's so
like
good.
it's Castlevania too.
Yeah.
It's really fun. That was, I think, the first stage I did that reinterpreted a fighter's gimmicks into the stage mechanic itself.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. And that's also a tip for you guys watching. That's the best way to make Aether stages. Because
It's certainly one of the easiest.
yeah, you just repurpose what you already have. No.
yeah, which is very fitting because it's Castlevania.
Yeah, for sure.
They're always repurposing like assets from games and those. Condemned Tower was the next one, which that was very much a collab with Dopefish, where she did the most of the coding about the physics and collision itself, and I did all of the aesthetics and the effects and all that stuff. That one is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like the the groundbreaking, and then the mimicking the falling right from the original fight. That's even Smash
Yeah.
never did that. You know,
No.
Orbital Gate
No.
Assault from Wii U. They spent what 5 years on that stage, and it sucks. Come on.
Yeah, they clearly they just need to have moments where you're floating in the air for
Yeah.
a little
Come on,
while, and it's really
it's
cool
on
and fun.
space. Come on, guys. Come on, Sakurai. Come on.
Yeah, come on. And then they don't even bring it back for Ultimate. Come
Yeah.
on.
Man.
Whatever.
But yeah, Condemned Tower is
And
crazy.
I do want to put an aside as well that I feel exceptionally honored that the stage itself was seen by one of the original developers of Dawn of Sorrow
Oh
and of
yeah.
many of the Castlevania games, Curry Hermit.
Mhm.
Rest in peace. But it's such an honor that he got to see that tribute
Yeah, it's
of
insane when you think about it.
like
Like he was the one that had the idea for the Gurgoth fight and the Gurgoth gimmick of falling down. That it's crazy.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy. I can't. It's such a dream moment to me, that I cried when I found out that he not only saw it but then also gave us information about
Yeah, right.
about that whole moment
We got
in the
new
game from
development
it.
information because of our frenzy mods.
Yeah,
It's such
it's
a it's
crazy.
a
It is
crazy
so
domino
crazy.
effect.
It's so gratifying to me. And then finally, and I think this might be my most technically impressive stage, personally speaking, Calidus Channel from Order of Ecclesia.
Yeah, I love that stage as well.
Oh
The
my
water,
god.
the boat, no, the ship, right? They, it's
Yeah.
so good. The effect.
I I put a lot of effort in for as niche of an area as that stage is.
I mean, it's very memorable,
But it's
right?
because it is. I do think it's extremely memorable. It's especially because of the aesthetics
Mhm.
from the original game, and they just inspire me so much. That is, for me, that's a very big point of why I make stages as well. Is because I am so thoroughly inspired by game locations.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also you're not
It just
really uh, like tied to oh we have to like Smash for example. They always do the main area from each Mario game. Like we're not
yeah,
stuck to that. We can do anything we want in the area from
yeah.
any game.
We can like properly represent a location as it struck us, as important as it was, and that's why I do it. Well, one of many reasons. That's the big one.
The first one is actually for the music, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
Order of Ecclesia songs on Workshop. Damn,
So
yeah,
good. So good. Oh my
it was
god.
worth it just
Especially
because
the
of that.
Vampire Survivors tracks. And then two other latest stages. Forest Naval. That one came out before Prague, but gonna shout it out because Prague came out recently. That one is really, I think, really technically cool on a design standpoint of how many layers of interaction there are on the stage, because you first have the layer of you can run through mushrooms and they pop up in their platforms.
Mhm.
And then you have the second layer of there's a little creature that comes out. And then another layer of you can smack it and a power up comes out. And then a fourth layer of this power up does something specific, like give you a status boost or heal you, or when you tap it, it becomes an attack. It's like weirdly complex.
Yeah, no, for sure. It feels like, in the best way, it feels like a brawl stage from Smash, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, you're actually so right. Yeah, I take that very much as a compliment. Brawl
Mhm.
has some very fascinating stages when they aren't bad,
Yeah.
like like 75M.
Or Hannibal. I don't know if you like Hannibal, but yeah.
To be honest with you, I did end up getting electroplankton because of Hannibal.
Oh damn. That's okay.
So I mean, it worked on me. I like the aesthetics.
No, yeah,
It's not a good stage, but it
that's
worked on me.
undeniable.
And then finally, most recently, Trixie's Apology Tour, which is a stage based on an episode of season 6 of My Little Pony. And this is maybe one of the more interesting stages in Origin
Hmm.
because it's based on a cartoon and it also still has an Aether gimmick. And it has, frankly, the most absurd cameo system of any stage I've worked on. There's over 50 cameos on the stage and 2 different kinds of cameos. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm on
Um,
the stage, right? So come on, right?
yeah, you are. You are. Yeah, Mr. Final Frenzy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that they're on a stage,
See, see.
except for actors, I suppose. But what I find so fascinating about making a stage from a source that isn't a game is that there are still elements of the media itself that you can reinterpret into a gimmick
Mhm.
and can reinterpret into a platform fighter layout. And it's kind of hard to grasp if you're going like very like literally with it. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to work with.
Yeah, for sure. That's I never had
It,
the
there's
opportunity
a lot of
to do
creative
that,
freedom.
but I imagine it's probably super very different, right?
It's fun seeing like going like reference hunting and going like, okay, what could possibly be the gimmick for this stage, and being like, oh, Trixie has boxes of props and Trixie uses fireworks all the time. Why not put her box of props in the middle of the stage and then you can smack fireworks out of it and then it comes out really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like even simple gimmicks can be enough of a twist on gameplay that they're just so fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I aim for a lot as well.
I think those are the best Aether forms. Like they don't get in the way, but they're just fun stuff to have on top of it, on top of the gameplay.
Yeah, yeah. That's always what I personally aim for, and I think as like an art
Hmm.
are like really underappreciated and really underutilized in Rivals Workshop, and in platform fighters in general.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because even something like Smash Ultimate, like there are no new stages. There are barely any, and even the new ones from the DLC, they don't have anything new on them, right? They're just backdrops with music.
Yeah, very little that they actually do with the ultimate stage, especially in the later half of the DLC.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Mementos, for example. I think Mementos' stage gimmick is really cool,
Hmm.
with walls coming in and like cameos coming in and out. It's very thorough and really interesting. And I'm admittedly kind of a sucker for Spiral Mountain,
Hmm.
because the idea of translating a 3D platformer environment very literally like that is really fun.
Yeah.
But it's like, aside from that, it's like, okay, you made a Castlevania stage of the top of the castle, and there's Castlevania enemies as background cameos that you animated them doing attack moves. You're not gonna like have them attack the player. They're just gonna be standing in the back there being animated and shuffling around awkwardly. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Oh, but you can hit candles and they drop items.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Shy Guy from Melee. We haven't seen that one before.
But yeah, I think my favorite one was the King of Fighters stage on terms of gimmicks. I think that's the only real gimmick that they advanced the stage design.
Yeah, fuck. Terry stage. Oh, it was so good.
So on the topic of you mentioned stages being an art form, art in general, right? How did you first learn to to draw, animate? How did that work?
Yeah, so how do I summarize my entire life? Yeah, that's an easy question. I've been drawing as long as I can remember. Like little drawing on pencil, colored pencil, as like all kids tend to do.
Mhm.
But like most relevantly, um, this was all the way back in elementary school, so like pre like 10 years old. Um, I used to play this game with my friends on the school bus
Hmm.
of Paper Smash Bros. And I would draw like Nintendo characters and out on paper and cut them out, and I would make paper stages, and we would pretend we were playing Smash Bros. On the bus.
Damn, the very first
Um,
mod, right? Very first stage mod.
yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is I'm still like I'm still bringing ideas that I thought of back then into characters and stages that I work on now.
That's
It's
awesome.
like you never know where a play's gonna take you. And then I like in high school I learned more like thoroughly about art in general.
Hmm.
A lot like traditional art, a lot of like mixed media stuff like painting. Oh, I forgot the name of a lot of things like stenciling, charcoal,
Hmm.
all sorts of really fun stuff. Then I got into digital art around 2017, and that was primarily because of FanPro,
Hmm.
and also because I around that time I was finally starting to solidify into okay, I want to become a game developer. I want to make pixel art, and so I started practicing that around that time, and I was actually very specifically inspired by Card Saga's Wars.
Mm.
That's a Mugen game. It's almost kind of like what Final Frenzy is to
Yeah,
Rivals.
I mean they have Sono Cruz, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. And the sprite work and that just inspired me so
It's such a
much, and
beautiful
the like
sprite work. Yeah.
design. And then when I went to college, I had some classes of like rudimentary like animation, 3D animation, like flash animation, all sorts of stuff
Hmm.
that taught me a lot of like the animation basics that I didn't already like really grasp by that point. Gave me a lot of the fundamentals, and then at that point was Shy Guy. Actually, most of my animation and art experience at this point is predominantly through Rivals of Aether.
Hmm.
And then here we are today.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like starting all the way back on like those paper stages, right? And now here we are making actual
Yeah.
stages that the actual creators from the games are seeing. No.
Yeah. Yeah. God, that is what a way to put it.
Yeah, it's
I had never connected that before. That's
it's
phenomenal.
magical. It really is.
Yeah. Keep dreaming.
Yeah, don't
Keep
stop,
dreaming.
don't stop.
That's don't stop believing.
So, aside from just animation, you another art form that you're very famous for is your voiceover, right? Anything particular about
Mm.
that? Like, why did you start to focus on that? Let's say.
Yeah. So, as a bit of a background, I in high school, this I'm sure it's going to shock absolutely everybody. I was a bit of a theater kid in high school. um and so I've always been using my voice to acting, I suppose. That sort of gave me the sort of legs to stand on for like considering actually speaking out into an internet audience.
Mhm.
But the reason I started doing voiceover specifically was because of Shy Guy, yet again. Um, I was very inspired by Sakurai's presentations.
Oh, you too?
Um, I was very inspired by Sakurai's presentations and felt like I was doing so much effort for these fighters and stages and the buddies I was making that it felt off for me not to also make videos about them.
Mhm.
To like sort of give them a celebratory, hey, here's something you can play and here's a video informing you about them. So I just put down a microphone, wrote up a script, and made my first presentation about Shy Guy. And it's so funny going back to that video these days because my compared to how I talk nowadays, my voice is so like unconfident and it sounds like really weird. And that's also because I wasn't entirely confident in who I was as a person by that point. But then I would make more for some of my other characters, Lovely Sweet Dream, for example. And then you started wanting to make presentations.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, I'm recalling. Was I the first person to make workshop quote unquote directs
I
at the
think
time?
so. Because we had like directs later, but they were usually just trailers. Like there's no one talking.
Yeah.
Stuff like Mono Direct, for example.
I think I was the first one to do that, which is crazy. And I remember Gustavo had a presentation
Yeah, the
for, I
Mr. Soccer guy.
believe, yeah, Mr. Not Sakurai had a presentation for one of his fighters and had specifically said to me that he was inspired by my work with my presentation. It's like, what?
I mean, the reason I
That's
make
so
these
sweet.
presentations is because of you as well. Like you're part of them. Like
What?
you're literally part of them.
Yeah. And that was from the very start. That was also Ryu. That was first Ryu.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, second Ryu.
Yeah, the blue Rio.
Yeah. And your Ryu presentation was the first time I did voiceover for someone that wasn't me.
And you've done that a few times again, right? Not just for me, but for like the Dream Collection, for example. You voiced over that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I did do some voiceover for the Dream Collection. I'm not sure. I don't quite recall if I was in any other projects. I'm in another project upcoming.
Ooh.
Wink, wink. Check out a certain friend that I've shouted out several times in this video. But yeah, I do other people's stuff from time to time. And if you don't mind me saying, I am willing to take voiceover commissions if anybody wants me to use my voice for something.
See, Soul Survivors,
open.
come on, just talk to Vivi.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I can vouch
And,
for your work, of course, doing the voiceovers.
you.
Always doing them for 5 years at this point. It's insane.
Yeah. As much as I find all sorts of cursing and screaming and all sorts of slamming in my recordings after I finish them, I always love doing them.
Yeah, that's how it goes. During the editing, is the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, but yeah. Also, it's kind of funny that like for this YouTube channel now, I am using my voice for other videos, but for the frenzy ones, we have to do your voiceover every time. Like it's part of the
It's tradition.
it's part of it. We have to.
Yeah. And I'm happy to continue being that.
And I'm happy
Makes
that
me very proud.
you're doing that for us. You're still doing. I hope you never stop, because I don't plan on. stopping.
As long as I have a voice, I will be doing them for you. You can't stop me.
Perfect. So aside from just voiceovers, you also dabble a bit with music, right? For not just for
Yeah.
workshop, but I think arrangements in general.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to say on this, but it's kind of a hobby. I've been making Famitracker arrangements. That's like 8-bit NES music that actually could be played on an NES system. And I've been doing that since before Shy Guy, actually. Just because I wanted to pick up trying music. I'm still very novice at it. I've spent most of my art experience in animating and coding and like design documents. But it's really fun to experiment with sound and with music. One of the big reasons I really got into it was because of like I mentioned earlier about Shy Guy, how much I wanted to like complete the package of the fighter and stage and presentation, and I felt at the time, like, a fighter wouldn't be complete without an original arrangement made specifically for them.
Mhm.
And so I had went ahead and made that Super Mario Bros. 2. I think it was the character selects theme that then transitions into the boss theme.
Mm. I need to listen to that again. I
Um,
don't. I don't actually remember.
I think it aged pretty well. It's still a pretty fun listen. I just enjoy doing it. I think it's fun, especially for some pieces of media that I work with don't necessarily have a lot of arrangements
Mhm.
to work off of. Like the LSD, for example, has like only official media, and there was like one remix that I found that has since been deleted.
Oh damn.
So I was like, I can just make a medley of in-game songs for the fun of it. And then I did.
Nice.
And that was probably the hardest thing I had ever done with FamiTracker by that point as a musician, so to say.
Actually, you mentioned that. That is one thing I sort of regret for on Frenzy. It's because I don't have that kind of money. But if I did, I would like to commission original arrangements for every single character, like their trailer music.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's not really viable, right? It's maybe in the future,
Yeah.
but for now, we make do with what we have.
Yeah.
If there are
Get
any
on the
musicians
Patreon.
there that you want to join the frenzy for free, please just let me know.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah, always do.
We're friendly.
Yeah.
We don't bite.
You can check out the 30 characters we have in development.
Oh, yeah. That's tempting.
So, on the topic of playing characters, playing mods, you recently announced your next project, right? The Ethereum Carousel, a huge project with fellow workshop creator Trinke. Could you go into more details about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Trinke and I just kind of spur of the moment decided to work together on Trixie for Rivals earlier this year for the Cartoon Jam. I had become very, very, very into My Little Pony. Oh, I was into it back in late high school, around 2016, back when the fandom still mostly existed. But then kind of fell out of it, and then a very wonderful friend of mine got me back into it at the start of last year, and who I will be referring to as Starry. She appears in the stage as well. And I just fell head over heels in love with the cartoon and infected that onto Trinke. We started watching it together earlier in, like, just before that, then went forward with Trixie. We were like, yes, we want to do this. Developed her and the stage within the month.
And the presentation.
Which is crazy. And the presentation. A 21-minute presentation styled after the show.
Yeah.
That I edited in 2 days, by the way. I was not okay.
It was worth it. It was worth it. Final Frenzy was there.
It was worth it.
With a lesson.
Everyone loves Final Frenzy. Just kind of coincidentally at the time, I had been chipping away at another pony character for the past like several months. We had talked about it after we had released Trixie. And we were like, this was so freaking fun. And pony characters are so fun to animate and design a moveset around. Do we want to do more of that? And the answer was an immediate yes.
Nice.
I, of course, had proposed and predominantly designed Trixie for the obvious reasons of I had seen most of the show at that point, and Trinke had not. Poor Trinke. It had one episode of that Trixie appeared in to work off of that she could sequentially utilize for reference material, and I was behind like all of the references.
That's crazy.
And she doesn't want to be spoiled about what's coming up in the show next.
I actually didn't know that. I thought she would. I know she didn't watch everything, but I thought she was like had seen a lot of Trixie.
No. There's like a one episode and like a comic by that point. So, I was the one predominantly behind Trixie's design. And then obviously with this next upcoming fighter, I'm the one that is predominantly designing and working on them. And then Trinke was like, if we collaborate, I could also do predominantly 2 other fighters. And this is a season pass of 1 a season. Spring, summer, fall, winter.
Right.
And again, for how easy these characters are to animate, like relatively, and how much fun we have doing it, why not? Just go for it. Start up our own Final Frenzy.
Hell yeah. Everyone should do their own Final Frenzy. We need more of those.
Exactly. And like personally speaking, like I had mentioned in discussing Trixie's apology to her stage, it's something that I've always wanted to experiment more with is characters and stages from source material that aren't video games. I've wanted to do that for the longest time, and like here's the outlet for that, and I couldn't be happier.
That's really fun. I'm not really a My Little Pony guy. You probably know that, but I'm super looking forward to the mods from you girls. It's gonna be so fun.
Actually, I think you currently are a My Little Pony guy. I can just boot up the stage and see
Oh
that.
no. Yeah, okay. You could say that. I am part of the canon now. Oh no. So the next character from the season pass, right, is gonna be for in the next couple of months, I imagine.
I don't like saying definitive dates or
Oh
anything.
yeah, never do that.
But we're aiming for July currently, and I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Given how far in production the fighter is.
Nice.
So look forward to that.
Perfect. I'm sure we all will. Yeah, we need more horses in workshop. So if that's the price to pay for that, yeah. So it's finally time for that usual part of the show that only has 2 episodes. The Guess the Silhouette game. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be showcasing you silhouettes from characters, all from your characters, right? So you should know them, right? They are your creations.
With any luck.
Yeah. I'm gonna start a little easier and then wrap up from there. We have quite a few, so
Okay.
prepare yourself.
I'm holding on.
So let's start with the easy one. What is this one?
Ooh. Gosh, that's a really thorough silhouette.
I hope it's easy.
Wow, I am weirdly having a... Hold on.
If you want some tips.
No. I gotta do this the right way. So it's clearly a smear frame. What? Who is in that position for a smear frame?
It is a little bit weird, I'll admit that. You'll see when you see. I didn't tamper with the sprite or anything.
Oh. Wait, is it? No, that doesn't seem right. I don't think it's Dracula. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, let me think.
I'll go with the
It's not
easier
Shy
one
Guy.
later. Shy Guy is a very big character now.
Yeah, it's obviously not Shy Guy. It's no way it's LSD. Not Venom SST. That is not a car shape.
Damn, that's a car wreck.
That's not Miss Maribel. That clearly isn't Castle Guide. That's not Bullet Bill. I guess it could arguably be Pyramid Head, but God, I don't see it.
You want a tip?
Yeah, sure.
Hint, right?
Yeah.
I should say a hint. It is a Final Frenzy character.
Okay. What frame of Dracula does that?
Yeah, it is Dracula.
That can't be
It is
Dracula. Oh my god. Is that down tilt?
Is it? There we go.
Oh my god, it's down tilt.
He is so slim during the pose. It's so funny.
Yeah. I freaking edited this sprite. I added on frames to this animation. I should have recognized that.
But Titi, if you're watching this, I hope you guess it right. All right, so I hope the next one is a bit easier. What is this one?
Oh, that's up air from Bullet Bill.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I love this frame so much.
I know that shape. I know those cat
Yeah.
ears.
It's so cute. I love the sound effect for this attack.
Meow.
Yeah. The bell, yeah, it's so cool.
I remember specifically asking you to code in special like 2 hit sounds or something.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, okay, the next one.
That okay, that is Pyramid Head. 100%. That's down tilt.
Yeah. Maybe I should have started with this one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because of the whole tongue swoop. God, was that a seer animation? I believe it
I think
was.
it was, yeah. But I don't think it was based on any fighting game.
Rare. How rare is that?
Yeah. Okay, so
That's one of the most satisfying animations in Pyramid
it's
Head's
so it's
arsenal. I
so
think.
cool. I was talking to today about like making references and stuff like that. And I love this one because on Silent Hill, you he has a super
Yeah.
small tongue. Like it's a big tongue for us, but it's smaller
Yeah.
scale. And it just turned into this huge leak he does. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it fits so
Yeah,
well. It fits so well with the exaggeration of Rivals
yeah,
Workshop.
for sure. And
The
like and the
style.
sound design of it, it's such a cool move.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, what is this one?
That is LSD down tilt.
Maybe it's Miss Maribel.
This is not Miss Maribel. And you know how I know that is LSD down tilt is because of the little splash particles that are baked into the animation that cause the animation to be like 30 or 60 frames
Yeah, there you go.
because I didn't know what I was doing.
Actually, hold on. I don't remember this from LSD from the games.
Um
From the game.
that is the fin that you can see sometimes in the shallow waters of the natural world. So just like somewhere out there in the natural world.
Ah, okay.
Um,
I
and I believe in lore, it's actually like a whale's tail,
hmm,
is what they describe it as in the Lovely Sweet Dream novel itself.
interesting. I didn't know that. I just assumed it was a shark fin or something.
Yeah, everybody assumes that it's a shark, but it's apparently not.
Yeah. Okay, so what is this one?
That's Shy Guy Up Air.
Damn, now you're
That
on
is the
fire.
ending lag of Shy Guy Up Air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
He's trying to summon the Dark Dragon.
he is. Damn, you stop him quickly. It seems I started with the hardest one. You're just knocking this out so easily. Okay, what is this one?
Ooh. This one might get me. Let's see what this shape is. What on earth? The thing is that that's not a particularly tricksy shape, even though it's about tricksy scale.
Mhm.
And we haven't done Castle Guide yet. And that is looking suspiciously like a smear frame from Castle Guide. I'm going in. That's Castle Guide.
Any particular move?
That's not. I know what it is. It's Forward Strong.
You got it.
It's the start of a Forward Strong. Yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
This
That's so funny actually to use the dolphin in this because when I first teased Castle Guide, I used a silhouetted sprite of I think Downstrong,
Mhm.
and like nobody knew what it was because obviously,
Yeah.
how would you even begin?
No,
Just take me back.
I was trying to find a silhouette for Castle Guide, but all of them were just arrows. So it was like, what the hell, man? What do you want me to do? And then I found the strongs.
it's a bit hard to obscure an arrow.
Yeah. So what is this one?
Oh boy, I sure wonder what this what this very silhouetted character is. That's Miss Maribel Crouch.
Yeah. And I love this expression.
Oh. Miss Maribel's one of the few characters I have an animated crouch animation for.
Mhm.
I don't do that a lot.
Oh, really? I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Venom SST has one as well now, where it jiggles up and down a little bit,
Mhm.
or vibrates rather,
Mm.
because of the engine.
So what is
Yeah.
this one?
Ooh. Oh, that's Shy Guy Down Strong.
Yeah.
I can tell immediately because that move haunts me.
And he's standing behind it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Ostro. What an interesting move.
So now you know we have a couple of repeats, right? Because I was having too much fun with some of these characters.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm game.
Okay, what is
I can continue my perfect streak.
How about this one?
That is LSD Down Air.
Damn, nice. Okay. Yeah, LSD was another one that was
Yeah.
kind of hard to find because any silhouette that was kind of weird, right? Like Nair, for example, you would clock in immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Down Air. I think this is one of the more clever references I pulled for LSD
Hmm.
because that is the dumpster in the violence district, and when you approach the dumpster, limbs fall out of it, and it's supposed to be sort of jump scare, and so I can make a weird multi-hit out of the limbs falling out of the dumpster.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah.
Kind of grim, actually, hitting you with a corpse, but
I mean,
that's LSD.
there's also Up Strong, which, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a ooh.
Okay, I have three more. I don't know which one of them is the hardest.
Sure.
Let's try this one.
Ooh. Hmm. I know what that is. That is Venom SST Neutral Air.
Yeah, okay. This one was also a bit hard to find a good silhouette for you to guess because they're
Aw.
all just cars.
Yeah. Little guy's so polite. Look at that smile. And you know what's the funniest thing that gave me the tell on that was because when I was making the definitive re-release of Venom SST, I was like, how can I make the animation of neutral air read more as an attack? And the way I did that was adding little effect smears
Ah,
that you see in front of and behind
okay.
the car.
Damn, I should have removed that.
Yeah, cheat by using old Venom SST.
You never know. So, okay, about this one. This is not a Seer character.
Ooh. Could have fooled me. Oh, what? Who could this be? Who becomes circular? No, it's not Castle Guide Up Special because that's more flat.
Ooh.
And I can't claim Shy Guy Neutral Air because I removed that.
Wait, what was the old neutral air?
It was Shy Guy bursting into flames.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah. True.
Which is funny in retrospect now because a little tangent while I'm still thinking on this. Apparently, an Ultimate modder has wanted to make Shy Guy for Smash Ultimate and based Shy Guy on the older version of my mod, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, that's that's crazy.
Yeah.
They got the stilts and
Like,
everything, right, from Dawn Special.
Yeah. What the heck? I have a vague sort of legacy here. What's going on?
Yeah, that's awesome. So, any guesses?
Oh. My delay tactic didn't work. LSD neutral air isn't like that. Venom SST's moves aren't like that. Are they? Could that be up air? Could that be down air? No, because of the smears. Not
I
Maribel,
didn't
not...
remove the spears. Tell you that.
Yeah. um,
Any hint?
I could use a hint.
It is from a more recent character.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's Smoky Prog. But which move? That's is it neutral? It's neutral air. It's neutral air. That's like
chunky boy.
That's like the start of yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, this one was perfect.
Gosh.
I was trying to find one. They're all really good, but when I saw this one, I was like, no, I have to. I need this here.
Oh, that threw me. I forgot how spherical Smoky Prog can be.
He's just a little guy, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, this creature. Is the last one.
That is Trixie Upstrong.
Oh damn, okay. I thought you were gonna say Taunt or something.
No, I know the intricate differences between Upstrong and Taunt.
Yeah, because it looks like she's wearing a hat, you know, on the silhouette.
Yeah. Which is funny because both of those moves were animated by Trinke.
Oh, look at that. So yeah, that was the end of the game. This the hardest one was probably the first one, which is very funny.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is gonna be easy, and then you throw me the most broken-looking, like, decrepit creature of all time, and I'm like, what? And then it turns out it was a broken, decrepit creature.
Close with Smoke Prog. Another hard one before it hits. These are always super fun to make, too. I just equip the silhouette buddy and start throwing out moves and seeing what looks cooler.
Yeah, you're very good at them. Oh, speaking of buddies, would now be a good time to plug the TV that's behind us.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, as you guys can see, this is not just a ugly effect like the Seer interview. Viv actually made a actual TV buddy with a green screen. If you guys want to use it for anything, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what you guys can use for that, but it is essentially a TV with a green screen in the middle of the stage. You can use it on any stage, just like you can see here. And yeah, it's very useful. And thank you, Vivi, for that. It's probably already out, right? You guys can check out the workshop.
Yeah.
It's there. A brand new play.
If I can give a little trivia on that as well, that the TV sprite is it's a modified sprite of when I first started doing presentations. I made a stage that was a sort of Sona for myself at the time on a big bubbly cloud with a CRT TV behind me.
I remember that.
That I green screened like gameplay footage over. And so now you can have it, but it's Vizard branded. And and the funny thing is that TV is actually traced / referenced from the actual CRT that I have in real life.
That's very cool. I didn't know that. So we're talking about this. So it's a CRT inside a CRT inside a CRT, right? Because of the way you were showing this.
Yeah.
So okay, before we close it off, because we've been yapping for a good while.
Yeah, my bad.
No worries. It's always a pleasure. I want to talk about other workshop stuff, like not just from our creations, but stuff that we really like, we're passionate about. So,
yes.
For example, like, what is your go-to character to play in workshop? Your favorite characters in general to play or anything?
Yes. The boring answer is that I make characters for myself.
Yeah, yeah, same here.
I make the
Yeah,
characters I'm gonna play,
who's gonna make
but
Hero
that's
Hayabusa?
cheating.
No one's gonna make him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I also play the Final Fantasy characters a lot. That's also cheating because I have effectively worked on nearly all of them.
Yeah, we're all involved in
So,
making them as good as possible.
so crossing those out, not talking about those.
Or no.
My favorite character in Workshop that I always go to is SB's 64 Mario.
Yeah, he's so perfect. It's so
It's so
yeah. The way he
yeah,
recreated Mario 64 movement on the character is nuts.
it's so nuts. It feels perfect, and like the fact that it's it feels so good with like the Smash 64 moves on top of it, and has all these like really silly references that like Down Strong is one of my favorite
Oh yeah,
strongs
on the
in
Koopa Shell, right?
the whole game. Yeah, because it's just so stupid fun. Ah, the 64 Mario like endlessly inspires me
Yeah.
as a creator because I'm always like that's like the pinnacle of reinterpreting another game's mechanics into a platform fighter environment.
I agree. Yeah, like forward special, it's crazy how SB was able to replicate the momentum of that attack.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so good to use to just fling yourself across the stage. Ah, perfect character, honestly.
Do you have a couple more?
Um, yeah. I also frequently go to Huponia is one of my dearest friends in Rivals Workshop. Um, and all of her characters are super good. I end up coming back a lot to Lumina. Just her game feel is like perfect, and the mechanic of the apologies, I don't exactly know all of the terms off the top of my head, but like her bubble, her like magic bubble, where you can burst it open with certain attack spacings or with the projectile. It's so fun. It's such an interesting take on stage control, and furthermore, an interesting take on what am I thinking of? Like projectile setups. It's like a perfectly designed character, and I've also always been super happy with the updates that she got throughout time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she's awesome.
We need to have Hio on the Friends team at some point.
For real. He was like, being very biased here, he was like the number one creator that I would love to have on Final Frenzy.
You hear that, Rio? We need to find a game we both love. Just get into Castlevania, just the perfect ticket to get to Friends.
Yeah, everybody get into Castlevania now.
Yeah. Just do it. It's so easy.
Rice's Meta Knight and the Dream Collection DDD,
Oh yeah.
those are like my comfort food for Rivals Workshop. Like they're not the craziest characters, and they're based on Smash, so it's a little bit, it feels a little bit cheaty to call them favorites, but Rice's execution of like the movement on Meta Knight is so incredibly good and so addicting.
I think it's so much better than the actual Meta Knight from Smash.
Yeah, it's like that take on Meta Knight is easily my favorite in like any platform fighter, especially because of Down Special.
The is the Condor dive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the dive that like and it bounces you up when you after you land it. It's
So fun.
it's brilliant. And for DDD, again, just really good fundamentals, and really good mix of mechanics from throughout the DDDs. And I love the addition of the drum as a partial stage control setup thing.
You know who added the drums, right? The idea?
I feel like you might want to say.
Yeah, it was me.
It's brilliant.
They
It's
wanted
absolutely
to
brilliant.
include the Waddle Dees and Waddle Dees from Brawl and the Jet Hammer. I was like, yeah, that's fun, but people love the girdles. And what if there was a way to make the girdles, change directions? I love that.
Yeah.
So I,
It's so
yeah,
cool
I
as a
vouched
play
for
thing.
that. And thankfully, DDD was fully coded fully made by Harvard 12, so it's one of the best characters in the Dream Collection.
Dang. Yeah, for real. And like I love playing as like all the Dream Collection characters, but like DDD
Yeah.
especially is like, oh, my soul. But I have to admit that DDD is in very close competition with Smash Remix DDD.
Hmm. Oh, Smash Remix in general, the
And
guys are crazy.
so I'm really glad that both of them went in very completely different directions with what they wanted DDD to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because now I have two DDDs. Oh boy, two cakes. You know.
And again, they're both better than Smash.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm just like also always finding characters that I really enjoy playing as, just like kind of randomly.
Yeah.
I admittedly don't give myself a lot of time to explore Workshop as much as I would really like to. Um, and sometimes I just sit down and just go through everything I have in like little bursts. Um, like I want to give just a tiny shout out because I'm still kind of learning the character.
Hmm.
But JPEG Warriors, because I'm not great at pronouncing Toho names, Fujiwara no Moku, fucking brilliant, like fighter design.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. I had to
Because
look it
she,
up.
yeah, she uses like a, um, she has like a recoil based system like Pichu,
Mhm.
but it involves using it as a resource and then also being able to recover off of yourself the damage that you do or the damage that you take. And that's like such a crazy
Yeah.
idea for a character, especially for a brawler, right?
Mhm.
Of that kind. It's just really cool.
No, I need to check her out again because just like you, I don't play workshop that much, right? Only when I'm testing out characters. So we tend to forget characters here and there, right? But it's always fun
Yeah,
to find out characters you missed or figuring out characters again, right? You forgot.
exactly. Yeah. And you never know when you'll find like one of the coolest freaking characters design concepts like ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Go explore, download random stuff. It's fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah.
Actually, one more fighter I want to shout out is well, generally kind of everything Trinke's ever done.
Hmm.
Trinke is like my design philosophies, but on some absolute other bullshit. It's so cool. Extremely awesome gimmick characters. Um, One of my favorite design wise is Sven, who has an invincibility instead of dodging. And the invincibility is a resource that you have to gather, and then you can also pull into the stage and save it for another stock. And it's like the craziest, most brilliant combination of mechanics that you can get out of like a truly experimental platform fighter character. I just like if you have the time to lab out Sven and understand what he's about, please do.
Yeah, no, her characters are generally. I remember I wasn't super familiar with her work before Balcony ZE, but I knew about like
Mm-hmm.
Jumpman or Problems Luth.
Yeah.
Luth, I think that's the name. And I was like,
Yeah, problem sleuth.
what are these characters? Like not in the oh they're bad way, but like they're insane. They're crazy. They're
Yeah.
so distinct and so unique, but also you can play them. Like they're not
Yeah.
like oh they're so complicated to play. No, you can actually go ahead and have fun with them.
Well, problem sleuth might take a Wikipedia, but other than
Yeah,
that,
I'm checking the Steam page. I don't remember the HUD or the hell.
the HUD, it's a very good mechanic. I still don't understand it.
But yeah, but like Jumpman, for example, it's crazy. I love just being able to build letters. Any other creator would just make it
Yeah.
be like, oh, there's a limit for how many letters you can create. Why limit yourself?
Mm-mm. No. The limit is that if you stall, you die.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's so much fun.
She's genuinely one of the most like inspiring, really freaking cool like minds in workshop, and I'm like really proud to get to work with her and have her be as good of a friend as she
Yeah,
is.
no, that's I'm really looking forward to your guys' next characters. And Drink A, you
Yay.
already know it. Friends is waiting.
Yeah, come on.
So I know you want to mention him, Vivi. So I'm giving you the floor. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. And my ultimate favorite character of all time, above my own, above Final Frenzy, above anything that has ever been made in any platform fighter. So, a little bit of background. Back when me and Vizard were working on Bullet Bill, this was for the Unorthodox Jam. There was a character released that the creator had just kind of put together because their friend had said, hey, you should like make something regardless of how it comes out. And they were like, okay. And that character is Fedora Man.
I actually didn't know about this guy before you told me.
Yeah, I know the Fedora Man lore. That's how much I love this character. And if you check him out, you'll see that he has like 3 moves. But the thing about them is that this character has a metered projectile on like down tilt or something. I need to pull up the character as I'm playing him because he's insane. Like a metered projectile for down tilt or down special or something like that. That is like okay, but it has like insane knockback. And he has a forward special that rockets you across the stage, and it does like very little damage, but it can be used to like extend combos like it completely insanely. And the combos consist of the same move. They consist of like spamming like up air. And that's the only normal move over and over again, and it has this really weird property that makes it really good into comboing into itself and also killing at like any angle.
Yeah.
And that's the moves. But then there's also like I think that one is like either jab or end special no, it's forward tilt. Forward tilt is a self-healing move
On forward tilt?
that that heals like 20% after you wait a little bit.
Oh my god.
But the thing is that the character has like the worst recovery I've ever seen. It is a single slash upwards, and and it boosts you like a little bit of vertical speed, and that's it. The game plan is the thing is that you're playing as a flea with a sword, basically, and you have a metered projectile that you can use to like space opponents out with or like try to kill them with. But if they get you off stage, you're dead. It's the thing is that if you explore it as like an actual character that you're fighting against real people with, it's like the most distilled experience of a platform fighter that I've ever seen. Genuinely.
That's insane.
I feel like I could write up like an essay, like a dissertation about Fedora Man if you asked me to, and how he reflects the core principles of platform fighter design. Genuinely. I fucking love this
That's
character.
incredible. I really hope people check him out now because I need to check him out as well.
Please. It's insane. If nothing else, you will have a lot of fun.
That's so cool. Like that's the beauty of workshop, right? Who knows about this character? I'm just checking him out right here, and there's not even 1,000 subscribers.
Exactly. We need more Fedora Man fans.
We need to get this guy on the frenzy tour for the Fedora Man.
True. True.
Fedora Man 2, Fedora Woman, the new character. So yeah, I close it out on the insane character. I don't think we can top this one. So let's talk about stages, right?
Yes. Okay. earlier on, I had already talked about ZT Styles in Television World, so I'll skip over that. Big inspiration, though, still.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just going to talk some of, like, the most inspirational stage developers to me a little bit. I'll go into, like, how cool specific stages are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Zard, Charizard, um, is, in my opinion, maybe the most underrated stage developer in the scene currently. His stuff, like Yoshi's Island specifically, blew me away. Because you look at it at a first glance and it's like, oh, it's Brawl Yoshi's Island. No. It is a full reimagining of the gimmicks of Yoshi's Island, the game,
Mhm.
put into a stage, and then also added like a layer of interactivity on top of that with popping the question mark clouds. It's so cool and it's so fun to play on.
And it's also such a beautiful stage as well. Like the colors,
It's
the
a gorgeous
sunsets.
stage. Yeah. Like, please check out Zard stages if you haven't already. Like, this is a creator to be on the lookout for in terms of stage design. Another creator, I think, I feel very like parallel to Smash Waffle in terms of how we evolved as creators. I feel like we evolved in very similar ways.
Mhm.
Um, and Smash Waffle's like Pac-Maze stage in particular absolutely blew me away. Okay, like again, like you'd look at it and you think, oh, this is probably like Smash 3DS Pac-Maze, and it kind of is, but it's really not. If you want to do a stage that has a lot of stuff in it that's really interrupting how you play the game, you want to do it in a way where that's fun with the core gameplay of Rivals. And how it works on Pac-Maze is brilliant because you have the ghosts going around, right? And they're all like damaging entities that take up a very large amount of space. Normally, that kind of thing is really annoying,
Mhm.
right? Like, think to like really bad Smash stages that you don't enjoy because like a guy shows up and then like makes the fight his thing, you know? But with Pac-Maze, that aggression towards the stage itself kind of goes away because of two things. Three things actually. One, the wraparound mechanic, where you can only die if you're actually knocked out of the blast zones. And the pack pellets, which heal you, like I believe it's around 2% or 3% each.
Mhm.
So you have to like platform around collecting pack pellets, and that roughly equates to how much damage you would be taking from the ghosts in the first place. And then there's also the power pellets, which those heal and then also flip the ghosts from being hazards themselves into being a very substantial health regeneration. And that flow of gameplay combines onto the existing fighting gameplay so well. Again, check out Smash Waffle's other stages. Like, he's very good at stage design.
Yeah, no, again, I feel like a a LARPer right now because I didn't remember that the stage had a super in-depth Aether version like that. I remember there was an Aether version, but not to that extent. I need to check it out.
It's so cool. Yeah, you need to check out Smash Waffle stages, apparently.
Yeah, just wait for the Aether forms video on the channel in the future.
Oh, please do that. Another creator, and it's so hard to narrow this one down, Huponia. Like, if you are on Workshop and you do not have Huponia stages downloaded, what the hell are you
Oh
doing?
yeah, no, they're
All of them are gorgeous. But I want to give a special shout out specifically to Nil Descent from Pause Ahead, because the aesthetics of that stage, such a good evolution of and interpretation of the visuals of Pause Ahead
Mhm.
to begin with. Secondly, the gimmick of actually pausing the game in game and having that maintain your momentum as it actually is a mechanic in the original pause head game, is so fucking cool.
Yeah, this one I remember. I remember strictly from the trailer on the first blueprints,
Yeah.
something like that. I was like blown away when I.
Yeah, it's crazy. I believe at the time I actually helped give her a little bit of advice on as to what direction you could possibly take a pausing momentum gimmick, because I had accidentally done that with Fanto, and so kind of knew how you could get away with that.
Nice.
I don't remember if she actually took any of that advice necessarily, but we talked about it. She's just brilliant.
Yeah.
She's such a talent. I have to give a shout out to Deep Space Satellite from Outer Wilds, developed by Dakurai. Dakurai is an absolutely incredible programmer in the scene.
Yeah, for sure.
I almost don't want to say anything about this stage because gimmick of it is really cool if you know what it's about.
I actually will say something about the stage, and that is that I can finally play it because before that my PC couldn't handle the stage. It was too demanding.
Yeah, I imagine it's really
Yeah.
intensive.
So I had it downloaded,
Yeah.
but I never played on it. Now I can finally check it out. So you guys, please
Yeah,
check it out as
yeah.
well, especially if you played Outer Wild.
It's also just a really gorgeous stage. I love the mathematics of the planets all going around. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta shout out Gustavo. But the thing is that when I was thinking of what stage of Gustavo's could I talk about that I hadn't already worked on because of Final Frenzy.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. Pokemon World Tournament. One of the most fucking insane transforming stages ever.
That's, I think it's one of the greatest stages in platform fighter, like in general.
Yeah. And it's so brilliant because that's such a natural evolution of the Pokemon Stadium type
Yeah.
stage.
It,
It's such a step forward for what the genre has already done and then iterated upon itself with. And like I think about how you come up with something like this, and it's just so smart.
yeah, and how, like, even the visuals or the flavor of it, like each combination also showcases a Pokemon that has that combination of types. It's genuinely
Yeah.
fascinating.
It's
I bet Sakurai saw
Very
the stage and he's like, "Damn, he beat me. I cannot do that anymore."
Yeah, he's not gonna top that.
It's impossible. Yeah.
And one more creator I want to shout out. And if you know stages, you probably know where this is going. But if I was not already friends with this person, I would definitely consider him a rival. Atox. Atox to Self. Oh my god. Probably, I would say the best stage creator in Workshop. Like, just in terms of output and how gorgeous the stages are, and how everyone has at least some kind of Aether thing going on.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I want to specifically mention Mushroom Gorge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one thing to make a area that forces a player to bounce, but the mushrooms also impact platforms and articles. And no, projectiles and
Wait,
articles.
really? I need to check that out.
Yes.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It literally forces any of them to bounce, and it's such a funny thing. And you can do like totally crazy stuff with them that you can't normally do in regular stages because of it. And that is like the core essence of what I think Aether gimmick, well, not even Aether gimmick design, because that stage has it on both basic and Aether, but just like what stage design should aim for is changing what the game is about in a substantial but subtle way. And Atox is like one of the best at it in the genre.
We're talking about stage artists for Frenzy. Atox, call me.
Atox, come
We're
on.
probably not gonna do a Sonic stage yet. Maybe in the couple of years. We'll see.
Yeah. You need to get on Sonic, apparently.
Yeah, I'll make Zavok. You guys will see. So to close it out, the stuff from the favorites workshops items, I have to, of course, I always do this question. I know this is the second episode. Don't worry about it. But what is your favorite Frenzy release? Not one you worked on or like heavily worked on.
Right. I kind of have two. I have one that's been a long stay and one that's kind of new. Um, Pale Blood Hunter is definitely one of my more regular mains. Um, and I can say this because I didn't work on the fighter. I only did the stage.
No, that's fair.
But like the stance switch mechanic and uh the parry with a pistol is so like it's such a brilliant twist on how you play the game fundamentally that it's just brilliant. I love it. And especially the parry into the visceral. Duh! It's so satisfying. Like UNCR knocked it out of the park
Yeah, no,
with Pale Blood
I
Hunter.
really love how that the visceral attack came out. It's very like even the coding part is very simple. It's just if there's a opponent nearby and they're parried on the parried state, it changes your input for the F strong,
Yeah,
and it works surprisingly.
it's so good. So yeah, I'm always playing Pale Blood Hunter. The other one, I'm sure you'll be happy to hear this, Vizard, kind of became a Ryu addict during
Hell yeah.
playtesting. It's just the way that you can like freeform combos, and then also on top of that having a resource mechanic that you have to use in order for the character to be at their fullest with the essence
Yeah.
is super brilliant design, and it makes the character so incredibly engaging.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how well we managed to capture the essence of Ninja Gaiden into a platform fighter. It was a long time coming. It took some time.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but he's like perfect.
no, I agree. It's gonna be hard to top him. I'll be honest.
We'll try.
Well, unless the next release is like I don't know 9 characters in one. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
But yeah, I think this is all the time we have for today. Yeah, mention this to you and also everyone watching. We're probably gonna have Vivi on the show another time again because we barely talk about anything. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about Castlevania. Come on, right?
No,
mean-
I didn't even get to mention my love of music that I was going to talk about for probably another half hour.
Make it a full
That's one of
hour
the
because
side
that
things.
would help as well.
Oh, hell yes. Let's have a talk about music day.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe another episode, and I hope like that you enjoyed this talk as well, Vivi.
I had a complete blast. This was extremely fun, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing other creators also talk with you. You're a very good interviewer.
Thank you very much. And we're great to have you here as always. And I really hope this whole show becomes a recurring thing. It's easier now because I have my own place. The computer is can handle the recording, the microphone, all of that.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you're gonna be seeing a lot more interviews and dev talk shows in the future. And Vivi, do you have any final words for our audience?
I do, actually. Thank you for watching. As always, I wish that you have fun. Goodbye.
Perfect. Bye bye, everyone, and thank you all for watching.